mentor was Helen Thomas. St. Helen Thomas, who said the Jews should get the hell out of Palestine. Be careful when you talk to her. We are a pro-Israel movement. We are a pro-Jewish community movement. And this lady right there, her mentor, it's on her website. And Helen Thomas, the same woman who said the Jews should get the hell out of Palestine. I was so offended when I heard that. Keep an eye on it. President Trump is the most pro-Israel president we've had in our history. God bless the great state of Israel. They have two walls. Can I have one? Can we have one wall?
I think Reagan was pro-Israel.
There you go.
It was Menachem Begin and Ronald Reagan.
There you
it
go.
It was Reagan and Reagan.
Trump all the way.
Woo, Trump the military.
When we had 8 years of Obama, I said, can we have Bibi for president? Trump all the way.
Trump all the way.
Trump all the way, baby.
All the way.
How many of you love this country? USA! 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 USA!
That's it, baby.
God bless our president. God bless America.
God bless America.
Guys, reject the lie. Reject the lie of the left. We are not racist. We love this country. We are immigrant.
We love
We
you.
are illegal.
We love you.
Illegal.
We love all of them.
It's time to stand up against the lies of the left.
We love all of you. Yeah. God bless America, brother. I love Trump. USA.
Trump too, baby.
That'll get Trump right. That's right.
We love Trump. We love Trump. We love Trump. We love Trump. We love Trump.
We love him, man. USA! 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 USA!
Hey guys, I just had a good suggestion given to me. We're going to try something. We're going to see how smart Trump supporters are, okay? We're going to say build on this side. We're going to say no on that side. And then wall on this side. Alright. Build, wall. You think we can do it? So what are you guys saying over here? Wall, okay? Alright, this side of the street. All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Build that wall! Build that wall! Build that wall! Build that wall! Yes, you're president! Trump is your president. He was your president yesterday. He's your president today. He's going to be your president for 7 more years. We're going to have a nice big wall. Big, beautiful wall.
For 7 more years. I said 7. I did 7. I did 7.
President Trump, build that wall. the mall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build.
For the United States of America, we want to thank you for our president, President Trump. We want to thank you for Vice President Mike Pence. Dear God, I pray for a hedge of protection around them. I pray you will protect America and help us to turn to you for everything. We pray for the protection, dear God, for all of us at this rally. Thank you for bringing us here safely. And we give you all the credit, all the glory, honor, and praise. In the powerful name of Jesus Christ, amen.
All right, folks, there's plenty of flags around here, so you pick the flag of your choice and join me in the
big fence down at the end of the street here. He's got to get to that border, and then he's got to go east about 4 or 5 miles to see his prototypes. So, stick around. Don't leave too soon as times go on, because we might have a motorcade going by. He's going to want to see this. This is amazing. The media, a lot of them are covering all these left-wing rallies, paid, organized rallies. San Ysidro, I think there might be one out to the east. They're all paid La Raza groups and left-wing groups, and we all know about them. We are the resistance. It's the pushback to that. And we are here to show California not only loves our president, we want that border secured. And more importantly, the opposition. So there are law enforcement aware that we're here, and if something goes on, they will take care of it.
Cool.
So try not to engage in any fracas that goes on, but hopefully that won't happen. So these are my co-organizers. We got a great lineup of speakers, and without further ado, our first speaker. Who's heard of Trevor Loudon? Trevor is an author.
Better than that. Trevor!
Trevor Loudon. Trevor is an author. He's written several books. Filmmaker, documentarians. And he's all the way originally from Christchurch, New Zealand, originally. And he's here right now, living in the LA area. And his goal is to save America, our country. So if he can do it,
Amen.
we can all join and help, right? We're all a team. We all live here. This is our country. Without further ado, Trevor Loudon.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. Can everybody hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay now? Can you understand the southern accent? Good. Look, people ask me all the time. People ask me all the time why I come to America, why I tour around your country speaking. And I say there are two simple reasons. The first is gratitude. You know, my country was facing invasion by the Japanese army in World War II. And if it hadn't been for the huge sacrifice of your fathers and uncles and grandfathers at the battles of Guadalcanal and the Coral Sea and Midway, we would have been done, people. That's a very strong memory. The second reason is related, but it's a little more selfish. Ronald Reagan had it right. This is the last best hope for mankind. If you should ever, God forbid, lose your constitution and your liberty and your economic dynamism and your military superiority, all of which took a huge crashing through the Obama years, if that trend had continued, people, we'd be living in a world ruled out of Tehran and Beijing and Havana, and all the tyrants of the world would have a playground, folks. So we got to be so grateful. Anybody who loves liberty has to be so grateful to America. Now I want to say a couple of things about the last election. Who thinks the election in November 2016 may have had a touch of the miraculous about it? I think even a militant atheist would have to acknowledge that one, folks. Because we all knew that Hillary was going to win, right? No! We were all told every day it was totally inevitable.
I didn't believe it.
But when you saw Florida go for Trump and you saw Ohio go for Trump,
Yeah, baby.
you knew something very, very special was happening. And I just want to add a little note here. The Germans have a phrase, Schadenfreude. It means taking pleasure in the pain of others.
Wow.
Now, it's not a very noble thing, right? But when they panned the Democratic Party headquarters at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you saw snowflakes bawling their eyes out and hugging each other, did you feel a little bit of Schadenfreude?
A little bit.
Well, hang on to that feeling, people, because we got to have it again in 2018 and 2020 and 2022. Now, we have won, well, you have won the first game of the World Series. You won 2016. But you don't go home after you won the first game, do you? You got to win number 2 and number 3 and number 4. We got to stay committed and stay the course. Now, the other thing I want to say, I'm very, very grateful to America for what it's done for my country and for liberty. But I'm particularly grateful to California. Because do you know which state contributed more to President Trump's victory than any other? It was you guys, people.
Yeah! That's right. California for Trump.
You had 335,000 volunteers in this state. 335,000. You had 45,000 on the phone banks in any given day. Phoning into Florida, phoning into Michigan, into Pennsylvania, into Ohio. You won the election for Donald Trump, people.
That's right.
And you won the election for America.
Yes.
And not just America, for every freedom lover in every country in the world who are absolutely terrified of what might happen had Hillary Clinton become president.
Yay, California.
Now, I want to people, I think even a lot of our people don't quite understand what was at stake in that election. Now, think about this. Do a little bit of math. Mitt Romney lost his election by 2.5 million votes. Donald Trump won by about 200,000 across the nation. That's a thin margin. Now, think about this. Hillary Clinton promised to legalize every single illegal in this country within 100 days of taking office. Now think about what that would have meant. Because there are between 12 and 40 million illegals here right now. And guess which party they would vote for about 80%? The Welfare Party, the Democrats. That would have given the Democrats anywhere between 10 and 24 million new votes. Think about those numbers, people. 10 to 24 million new votes. What would that have done to this country?
Destroyed it.
How would you ever fight back against that? So we came this close to losing the country, folks. That close. It was truly miraculous. But this is how I see it. That election did not save America. It gave America another chance to save itself. Another chance. And if you look at the Old Testament, there are a lot of last chances, a lot of second chances in the Old Testament. The Israelites, you're going off the farm, you're not doing the right stuff. Get back on track or else. And sometimes they did, and sometimes they didn't. But there were always consequences. Well, how many third chances were there in the Old Testament, people? We have been given another shot at this. This is not the time to slack off or go home. We got to win 2018, and win 2020 and 2022.
Trump 2020!
And then you can think about a little bit of a holiday. Because your children's future are at stake here, folks.
That's right.
Your country's at stake. Your children are at stake. Have you, when you saw President Trump do a State of the Union, and you saw President Trump say that black unemployment was the lowest it's ever been, did you see the Congressional Black Caucus and the sour faces they had? Did you see one smile from the whole Democratic caucus through that whole speech? One chat. They are anti-American people. They are not the party of Harry Truman or JFK. They are the party of La Raza and Black Lives Matter. They are the party of the communists and Antifa. They are anti-American as you can get. And we have to make sure they never get power in this country again for decades. Now, have you ever seen as much vitriol and hatred directed at a president in your lifetime?
No!
Even more than Reagan. It didn't even come close during Reagan's time. Well, I think there are two reasons for that. One is very easy to understand, because those Democrats were so fired up and so cocky and so confident that they were going to win, that when it all turned to custard on election night, They were like a bunch of kids who thought they were going to get the biggest bike you've ever seen for Christmas, and they got a pair of socks. And they are bitter. They are angry. But it's even worse than that. Because you see, the Democrats understood that if they won, and they could flood this country with illegal immigrants, undocumented Democrats, and if they could flood this country with refugees from the Middle East, they would swamp your voting base forever. And they saw that they could take you down. Now, see, if you're a Democrat, you think you own the black population. You think you own the Latinos. You think you own the white union guys out in Pennsylvania and Ohio. That's their base. They own them. But when President Trump went into the black communities and said, I don't see a lot of prosperity here, guys. What have the Democrats done for your cities?
Nothing.
And they said, heck yeah, what have we got to lose? Why don't we vote for this man? And when he went to the Latino people communities and said, look, I know you don't all support illegal immigration. You're here legally. You're contributing American citizens. We're going to take a firm stand and stop this travesty. And a whole bunch of Latinos said, heck yeah. And when he went to the white union guys out in Pennsylvania and Ohio, he said, I don't see a lot of prosperity here either. I don't see what NAFTA and the Democrats have done to improve your lives. We're going to rebuild the industry. We're going to bring the jobs back to the Rust Belt people. And they said, hell yeah. And they changed their vote. And I got to say, I deeply commend President Trump for introducing tariffs on steel and aluminium. Because I believe in free trade, but it's got to be fair, it's got to be balanced, and you don't trade with your enemies.
Exactly.
Why are we relying on China for aluminium when it's more likely than anything that if we get in a war, it's going to be with them? What are we going to phone them up and say, look, can we have some steel for our tanks? So President Trump has made a very wise decision to protect the defense industries of this country. And that's going to be very good for San Diego, and it's going to be very good for the Midwest, folks, the steel belt. So this is where we're at now. The Democrats ain't given up. They have a plan. The first step is to smash President Trump in any way they can, denigrate him, criticize him, whatever they can, divide his base, intimidate his base, and I know you are not going to be intimidated, right? But they want to make President Trump as unpopular as they can. Well, the tax cuts sort of confounded that for them. When Nancy Pelosi gets up and talks about crumbs, how many people were insulted by that, folks? I know I was. So, but the plan is very simple. They're going to rerun the Rainbow Coalition strategy of the 1980s. They're going to try and get a coalition of all the minorities together. The progressive whites, progressive blacks, progressive Latinos, Muslim voters, Asian American voters. And they are going to run Kamala Harris and Cory Booker at the top of the ticket at the next election. And they reckon they can get about 51-52% of the vote. They reckon they can get 51-52% of the vote. Then they're going to legalize every illegal in the country, and they think that's what's going to win it for them. But what they do not understand is that they are so out of touch with the American voter and what the American voter wants that they are in for a drubbing. If you people stay the course and keep on backing the president, getting right behind him, you can do very, very well in 2018, which will set you up beautifully for 2020. When those taxes keep coming down, when the jobs come back to the Rust Belt, when the investment pours into America, All of those things are going to change the electorate so much that if we can spin 3 or 4 election cycles together, the Democrats are going to be nearly extinct, people. So many people are going to cross over. Why do you want to be a Democrat when you can actually get a job again? When you can make a big salary? How many of those Bernie kids, when they can move out of their mom's basement and get $80,000 a year jobs and actually get married before the age of 38 and have a family, how many of them are going to want to carry on with this Bernie garbage, folks? How many old 60s hippies became good conservatives because of Ronald Reagan's economy? I bet there's a whole bunch here today. So, and look at what Mr. Trump's doing on the world stage. You know, he's just replaced Mr. Tillerson with Mr. Pompeo, and I'm very happy about that, to be honest. Not that I was anti Mr. Tillerson, but I think that Pompeo is a hardcore guy, and the CIA certainly, and the State Department certainly needs to be cleaned out and drained, and I think Mr. Pompeo will do that. No more apologizing to the world, people. No more kowtowing to dictators. Rocket Boy is pretty fearful right now. How scared was he of Obama? How scared was he of... They didn't care. You know, you had secretaries of state under Obama. Hillary Clinton, who was so in bed with the Russians, it's unbelievable. Who was giving our uranium to the Russians. But has the arrogance to talk about Trump. And what about that wonderful man? What was his name? John Kerry? John Kerry, the man that trashed your troops after Vietnam, the man that did the Iran nuclear deal. I call John Kerry Jane Fonda with less testosterone. So I just want to say to you folks, I see you all moving away, but God bless America, God bless California, and God bless President Trump. Thank you.
You haven't figured out yet. We have a little glitch in our schedule here. Travis Allen was going to be our keynote speaker, but he couldn't get a flight out of Sacramento in time. And he has a debate in Poway at 11:30, so he can't even come here late and speak. So he's going to try to make his debate in Poway at 11:30. Not a problem. Trevor did great, and we have another great guest speaker coming up to you. Anybody out here ever heard of Tim Donnelly? Tim has done an amazing amount of work in the last 13 years. He and I both started on the border out here in East County about the same time, summer of 2005. Minuteman Movement, Project Border Watch, whatever you want to call it. He led a group. We had different groups out here. He led a really big group that really was successful for many, many years, helping to get President Bush to see the light and not give amnesty to 20 million people, but to actually build some fencing down here back in 06, 07. Unfortunately, they didn't build all the fence they promised us, but they did build some fence. So any progress is appreciated by these Border Patrol guys, I can tell you, and Tim knows this. 2,000 miles of border, it's all guarded by Border Patrol. And their lives, these are the warriors on our border, and they need as much wall and fencing and barriers to keep them safe and keep us safe as possible. So they'll take 1 mile at a time if it takes to get that border secure. All right, so Tim, if you don't know, besides the Minutemen back then, he decided to go into politics. He became an assemblyman for his district in California. He ran for governor. He's written books. He's done everything. Anybody else here? Not me. I'm just Mr. Activist. But without further ado, Tim Donnelly, and he's running for Congress.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks to all of you who have come out here in support of the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
You know, he campaigned on making America great again, right? How about we make California great again? You know, it does start with the rule of law, and that's what's really at stake. You know, I've been talking to a lot of these reporters, and they just seem shocked that we would want to build a wall as if it was some Philistine thing. You know, as if it was, you know, and I'm thinking, well, do you have a fence around your house? Do you lock your cars? Do you lock your front door? Yes, they do. And a lot of them have armed guards, but they want to take away your right to bear arms. You know, what this is really about, what President Trump's revolution did, is it gave a voice to the forgotten among us, the forgotten American, the people who do all the living, breathing, working, and fighting in this country, those who are right now in harm's way for our freedom. See, we're having their back right here at home. That's what this is about. And I recognize a lot of you who were here a long time ago with the Minutemen, back when we could barely muster maybe 25 or 50 people at a rally. It's nice to see hundreds. It's nice to see thousands. And I know that people are watching from all across the country and all across California. And look, you know, did you get a little excitement when AG, the Attorney General, showed up, Jeff Sessions, and said he was going to sue California for turning... Yeah, I did too. I thought it's about time, right? And now today, President Trump is landing here in California, and he's going to help pick the right wall. And that dude is not just the president, much like George Washington, he's a contractor, right? I mean, he builds. He's going to make sure it's built right. No shortcuts. But you know what would really make me happy? You want to know what I've been praying for? I've been praying for federal agents to arrest Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf for aiding and abetting criminal aliens in our country. Lock her up. I agree. But I wouldn't stop there, because I also would like to see Governor Jerry Brown behind bars. He has illegally made this a sanctuary state for criminal, illegal aliens. And of course, my favorite, my buddy that I served with, the most powerful guy in the California State Senate, Senate Pro Tem, President Pro Tem, excuse me if I got his title wrong, Kevin DeLeon, who said half of my family is here illegally, and they commit identity theft, and everybody does it. I don't know, do you do it? No. In order to work? I don't know, it's like they forgot we had a thing called the legal immigration system. My wife's family came into this country legally. That meant there was a 12-year wait where their families were separated. It was the sacrifice that immigrants made to become Americans. And see, that's all been forgotten, because all we ever hear are about the illegal aliens, about the illegal invasion, about how they deserve all these rights. And look, I have no ill will against people that want to improve their lives. I just don't want them to do it at the expense of my children and my countrymen. Thank you! And you know what? Here's the thing. Here's what's really at stake. A lot of people get caught up on Republican, Democrat. It ain't about Republican, Democrat. It's about Americans and communists. And the communists want to control us. And the Republican and Democrat parties fall somewhere in the center on that dynamic. Well, the Democrats might fall to the left of that dynamic on the communist side, because they've all become Marxist progressives. They're not the Democrats my grandparents were. They're not liberals, they're leftists. They are Marxists. But the Republicans are useless half the time, because until Trump came along, and remember, he had to fight them tooth and nail the entire way in order to stand up for the rest of us. And see, that's what this is really all about. It is not about any kind of animus toward people that want to come into this country. We have a front door, and it has a doorbell. It's called a visa. And then you get a green card, and then you get permission, and then you come in and you show respect to the country. But see, if we did not have the rule of law, we would be a lawless land. And as President Ronald Reagan aptly said, a nation without borders is not a nation. And so I have one simple message that I'm going to close with. And unlike politicians, I'm actually going to close. Because I'm a patriot, not a politician. But I just want to send a thank you and an exhortation to our president. And I want you to join me. Say this with me. Mr. President! Mr. President! Build that wall! 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 God bless you! God bless the United States of America. God keep our president safe in the People's Republic of California. Godspeed. And by the way, I'm running for Congress, so if you like what I'm saying and you want to help me, it's DonnellyForCongress.com. You can donate, you can sign up to volunteer, but I am in this fight to the finish until we are free again. Godspeed.
Wow. He'll be Trump's right-hand man. We got, how many of you from San Diego County? I know a lot of you came from far away. Wow, great. How many of you are not from San Diego County and came from a lot farther distance? Thank you, excellent. How many came from Arizona? Got a couple.
Jennifer!
I know we got some coming from Nevada too. Nevada, where you at? Here you go. Awesome, and of course you all heard, unless you came here late, New Jersey Joe. He flew all the way out here. The White House released the word on Wednesday afternoon, I think it was, around noon, maybe something like that President Trump would be most likely coming here today, 6 days away. Joe buys a plane ticket, gets on the plane and says, I gotta be here to greet him. How far did you drive today? He flew 3,000 miles to be here. Awesome, thank you to everybody that drove, whether it's 10 miles or 500 or flew 3,000. Thank you for being here. That's awesome. It's all on you. All right, we're going to move on with the program. We have a very special guest speaker. She's also helped me organize. She did tons of media yesterday. I did tons of media yesterday. Ben did media. Amy did media. Fox News. Amy, good job. The Fox News. They're here somewhere, or they will be. Or maybe they're over at the other Goon rally. They're here? Great. Welcome, Fox News. I gave an interview to CNN a few minutes ago. We welcome CNN.
Fake news.
I won't say it.
I'll say fake news.
We're glad they're here. We're glad that they're going to show their viewers, who may lean slightly to the left, what America looks like in San Diego, California. We are Trump's Welcoming Committee. This is it. You are it. Trump's Welcoming Committee. He is landing in Brownfield in less than an hour, most likely. And he's heading to that border, and he's going to go down a few miles. He's going to look at those walls. He's going to help choose the one that's going to keep us safe.
Yeah!
Build it. We're going to build that wall.
Build that wall!
All right, next up, Robin Vidston.
Robin!
Uber activist. She also started on the border with us in the summer of 2005.
Yep.
Me and Tim and a few other people that are here today. Good to see you, Arnie. Lots of folks from the old days. Ken is out here somewhere. Robin, the last few years, has been involved with the Remembrance Project. You've all seen them standing with President Trump during his campaign. He took this on very, very, very early in his campaign, like the first few days. He wanted to meet with some of these parents who've lost children. And Remembrance Project had already been in existence, but it just kind of morphed together with President Trump. So Robin has taken over the California State Chapter, and they do rallies and they do all kinds of great things. And we have the quilts here. All these are victims of illegal immigrants that should not have been here, but they were. and now their families are broken forever, separated. And without further ado, I'm going to let Robin explain what they do, and we have another guest speaker after that.
We love you, Robin.
Yes, hello, my name's Robin Viston, and I am the California coordinator for the Remembrance Project. I would like everyone first to consider something very important. Listen to this. More than 4.5 million Californians voted for Trump.
Yeah.
So we here today represent 4.5 million Californians.
Yeah.
One of our activists said, every person that voted for Trump in California needs to convert one new Trump voter. Then will be more than 8.5 million voters. So take that to heart. The Remembrance Project is an organization that honors and memorializes our American citizens who were killed by illegal aliens. These Americans and their families are permanently separated from their families through no fault of their own. And we have various angel families here today. Agnes Gibney.
Agnes.
She
We
lost
love
her
you.
son. She'll be speaking later. Angie Morphine is here. She lost her son to an illegal alien, and her aunt Lupe Moreno. These are among the angel families that suffer every day because of the loss of their family member. The shirt I'm wearing, this is DeAndre Mitchell of Los Angeles. He was one of 5 Americans killed in an abandoned warehouse when an illegal alien set an intentional fire, and he perished. He leaves behind a broken-hearted mother, cousin, daughter, families. So this is a story that needs to be told, and we have families like Angie Morphine and Agnes Gibney who have the courage to stand up and fight. Our founder, Maria Espinosa, said, the epidemic of the killing of Americans must stop.
Right.
The Remembrance Project stands for no amnesty, period.
Yep.
We are for fully funding and building of the entire wall. And the Remembrance Project says, here's Angie right over here. I just saw Angie. She's an angel mom, the mother of Ruben Morphine. But at any rate, the Remembrance Project says, enforce existing law. If our laws had been enforced, DeAndre would still be here. Ronald would still be here, and so would Ruben. So that is the premise of the Remembrance Project, enforce existing law. Also, legislators must legislate for the betterment of American citizens. And during his campaign, then candidate Trump met with the Remembrance Project families many times. In fact, as you see us here displaying these banners, we were able to go on stage with Mr. Trump. So he has a lot of respect, and he is a champion of these families. But our founder, Maria Espinosa, said, in order to help President Trump, we must help him keep his campaign promises. And that means calling the White House, tweet the White House, email, stay in touch with the White House, and let our president know we do not support any type of amnesty. Now, Maria Espinosa and Tim Ling, they have had an opportunity as they moved their headquarters from Houston to Washington, D.C., to be involved in many high-level meetings with the Trump administration. The Remembrance Project has taken our fight straight to the top levels of the Trump administration. They've met with the Secretary of Homeland Security, Attorney General Jeff Sessions. He listens to what these families and the Remembrance Project stands for. They've also met with the Department of State, working on the issue of trying to stop Mexican consulates from meddling in the U.S. government. And at the first national conference for the Remembrance Project, Donald Trump, then a candidate, was the keynote speaker. So now that the Remembrance Project does have an office in Washington, D.C., they have their doors open to any patrons who want to visit them. And I would just like to read to you a statement from our founder, Maria Espinosa. And she says, on behalf of the thousands of Americans who have been killed by illegal aliens and for their surviving families, we call upon President Trump to keep his word. To keep his word in his immigration policies and priorities. To clearly place Americans first.
Yes!
We are going to have two more speakers from our organization. First, one of our Angel family members, and then lastly, Raul Rodriguez, who is the coordinator for this state for America First Latinos. So I'm going to briefly introduce our Angel family member, Ruth Martin.
Ruth!
This is the most beautiful spiritual woman. She will tell you her story. She lost her first husband, who was a law officer, at the hands of an illegal alien. She will tell you about that. She's also the Remembrance Project chaplain, and so spiritual and so courageous like these other family members like Agnes and Angie. These are our parents that are fighting in the name of their children. So without further ado, I will turn this over to the Remembrance Project chaplain and Angel family member, Ruth Martin.
Ruth!
Thank you so much. It is so amazing to be around like-minded people who are right.
There you go.
You know what? I want to go ahead and do something a little differently. I want this to be about the people that are behind me. I want you to go ahead and take a look at these pictures. And I want you to really study them. They were someone's little girl. They were someone's little boy. They were someone's wife, someone's husband. And they are no longer with us. And that's the story of my life as well with my husband. We were married for 5 months. My husband was a police officer for the city of El Monte. He answered a call. Someone was trying to cash a check on a closed account. This man was an illegal alien. He had committed crimes here before. He had been arrested the week before, but he was still out on the streets. When my husband walked in, he had already gone to his car, got a weapon. First thing he did, aim that weapon. My husband drew his weapon, but an elderly man stepped in between. And my husband, having regard for life,
Oh my God.
he pushed him to safety. And it was at that moment that my beautiful husband, healthy man, was shot. He was shot in the neck. He went down to the ground and he was paralyzed. His vocal cord was severed. This illegal alien stepped over my husband's body and shot again, missing. But you know, we wouldn't have an opportunity to share these stories without the Remembrance Project. We wouldn't have an opportunity to share the faces of our loved ones without Maria Espinosa and Tim Ling. And so we are so grateful for what they have done. They have done so much work to shining a light on the killings, on the stolen lives of American citizens throughout this nation, that when President Trump signed the executive order for the wall, he handed Maria Espinosa the pen. So we are so very proud of her. But you know, my other position with the Remembrance Project is a chaplain. I knew after my husband lost his life, he took his last breath on this earth, that something that God could use my testimony, and he has. And being able to talk to the families who have lost their loved ones. Talking to a gentleman from Northern California whose little girl was chloroformed on the street, abducted, raped, and brutally murdered, stabbed, and thrown in an artichoke field. Being able to talk to them, being able to talk to a mother whose daughter was brutally murdered, stabbed, and they found her in a closet by illegal aliens. This has to stop. And what can we do? We've already done the first thing. We voted for President Trump, correct? Yeah. Okay, now build the wall. Build the wall. There is nothing that can stand in between us. Our voices are being heard. I have friends that say, but you're in California. But there are no conservatives in California. I beg to differ. Take a look at what we have here right now. Yeah. So we will not shrink away. We are going to stand strong. We're going to support this president, and we're going to tell him this. President Trump, keep your promise. Build the wall and no DACA. I thank you so much for being here, and I thank Robin for her unbelievable support. She's a champion in our cause. And I thank every one of these individuals that are here. And most of all, I thank all of you, because without you, this couldn't happen. So God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And God bless our president.
We love Trump. Very good. Build that wall.
Hi folks, my name is Raul Rodriguez Jr. and I am the California coordinator for America First Latinos.
Raul!
Thank you. I want to take just a second to thank each and every one of you for being here today. It's great when you get so many conservatives, so many proud Americans who are here for a good cause. It's great to see you working together. And I'd like to just share with you the America First Latinos was founded by Maria Espinosa, and as Robin said, and what they do is they put America first. That's the number one thing, by putting American first, educating the Latinos throughout our country. It's important that they understand that if they want to come to this country, it's got to be done legally. Legally. Get in line and become legal. That's what it's all about. I have a sign that says America, love it or leave it. Yeah. If you don't love it, then go and get out. Go somewhere else. I'm sure you agree with me, right? Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Now, another thing we do is we try to enforce the law by contacting our elected officials, writing letters, making sure that they do their jobs that they were elected to do. They took an oath to enforce the law and their duties as an elected official. And a lot of them in California aren't doing that. So it's time that you get off the couch and turn the TV off and get on your phone, write letters, your computers, do what you have to do, because we need to wake up not only California, but we need to wake up America. Yeah. America, wake up. It's time to get off your duff. It's time to do something. It's time to start working for your country. You know, I love this country, just like I'm sure every one of you do. I love this country so much, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to do to reclaim California and reclaim our country, America. We need to reclaim it. And with your help, we can do that. One more thing, I'd just like to say that I am a candidate for Secretary of State in California. And I need your help, your support. So we need to reclaim California. We can do it one politician at a time. Yeah. Retire that sucker. Make sure we send him home packing. We don't need guys like that anymore. We need to replace Jerry Brown, Alex Padilla, Becerra,
Yeah!
Ricardo Lara,
Yeah!
all those politicians who are promoting illegal immigration. It's terrible. We need to get them out, either put them in jail. Just to let you know, I wrote a letter to Jeff Sessions about all these guys that I just named. They need to do something about these guys. Put them in jail. Put them behind bars. Do something. But get them out of here. Get them out of California. One way we can do it is by electing people to replace them. So, another thing I'd like to say is that, can I have the same back there?
Trump, baby, Trump! Yeah!
Okay, this is something I made on my computer, but basically I would love to have you guys elect me because there's changes I would love to make. And one of them is we're going to get rid of voter fraud in California. No more illegals voting in California. No more people who are deceased voting. No more double voting or triple voting or whatever. So, I'm asking for you to elect me, and I will work for you, the American people.
Raul! Raul for Secretary of State!
All right, I'd like to just say, America first!
America first!
America first!
America first!
USA!
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 America first!
America first!
Build that wall!
Build that wall!
Nice and tall!
Nice and tall!
Keep us safe!
Keep us safe!
Thank you very much, folks. Love you.
Raul Rodriguez, remember that name. You will not find a finer, more dedicated patriot, although there are many, in Southern California than Raul Rodriguez. This guy, wow.
Love Raul!
He inspires everybody. So keep it up, Raul. Keep fighting.
Yeah!
Thank you. Are you guys pretty pumped up?
Yeah!
Is this a great welcoming committee for President Trump?
Yeah!
I know you're thinking, well, he's probably circling around, getting ready to land at Miramar. Maybe skies will clear and you'll see this big crowd when he flies over. Hey, it could happen. So anyway, regardless, he knows we're here. I got that verified through my sources there at the White House. He knows we're here.
Yeah! We love Trump!
Tweet Donald Trump. Tell him you're here. Good idea. Tweet him now. You're already on your phones anyway.
Let him know.
Okay, yeah, he knows about it. Seriously, we planned this thing. We announced it Wednesday night, like hours after that he announced that the White House announced they were coming. It was a no-brainer. Of course we're going to welcome him. We'll do it with 10 people. We'll do it with 1,000. We don't care. We're going to welcome him. We're not going to let those goons, down at San Ysidro, frothing at the mouth and hate and all that. We're not going to let them be the face of San Diego and California.
No.
Hell no. We welcome President Trump, and that's why we're here. Thank you. All right, our next guest is Ben Bergwam. He has taken on a fight you may or may not know, but you're going to know in a few minutes. And it's called FightSanctuaryState.com. And that is the effort where we are going to overturn the laws while Jeff Sessions, our Attorney General, is doing his thing in the courts. So without further ado, Ben Bergwam.
God bless you guys. God bless America. God bless President Trump. I am sick and tired of hearing about illegal alien dreams. I am sick and tired of hearing about illegal alien dreamers. I have friends like Agnes Gibney and Don Rosenberg and Sabina Durden, and you see all these pictures behind us. These are the dreams that I care about, and everyone in this crowd, you're the dreams that I care about. And those are the dreams that the politicians in this country should care about. Any politician that protects illegal aliens over American citizens should be in prison. They've broken their oath. They took an oath to defend the Constitution from enemies both foreign and domestic. They have become the domestic enemies. They are aiding and abetting enemies of this country. And forgive my voice, guys. God bless our Arizona Patriots. God bless our Patriots all over this state, all over this country. Have been traveling around. We were in Phoenix. Where's my Phoenix crew at? Where's our Arizona crew at? God bless our Arizona crew. Where's Northern California at? Who's here from Northern California? I'm from Central California. We are all the same. What's that? Orange County.
Los Angeles!
Los Angeles, Harim! LA! Guys, patriots across this state are rising up. The fake news, what was it?
San Diego!
San Diego! God bless San Diego! The patriots across this country are standing up. You know what stands between us and liberty and between us and tyranny? You. We the people, that's it. The media is against us. The education system is against us. The courts are against us. It's been decades of leftism, leftist encroachment into this country. And you are also partly to blame, and so am I. And so is everybody who sat on their butts while our freedom was taken away.
That's true.
But this group and millions of patriots across this country have said enough is enough. No more Shanes. No more Lewis. No more Ranger Chris. No more Ronald De Silvas. No more Drew Rosenbergs. No more Dominic Durdens. 60,000 American citizens, over 60,000 since 2001 alone. Why the hell doesn't CNN, where are you? Why don't you tell their stories?
Because they're fake news!
Why don't you tell the stories of American citizens? I am sick and tired of it, guys, and forgive my voice. Forgive my voice, I get a little bit passionate. I love this country. I was born in this country. I'm indigenous. I was born in Dallas, Texas.
That's
God
right.
bless this country.
That's right, so am I.
I am not ashamed of our history. We created the best country in the history of the world because of the blessing of our God, our Judeo-Christian values, and I am not ashamed of that at all. God bless you guys. It's an honor to stand up. It's an honor to fight. My calling is to shine light into the darkness, but to raise you up. If you are not engaged yet, you are called to be engaged. We're all different parts of the body. Your calling may be different, but you are called to be in this. If we stand now, we will save this nation. If we don't, it's gone. I have a 7-year-old daughter and a 9-month-old daughter. That's why I fight. And I have a beautiful wife, the most beautiful wife in the history of the world. I am the most honored husband in the history of the world.
That's right.
That's why I fight. I don't want my daughters to end up in a communist gulag. This anti-Americans who are undermining this nation. And anytime they say otherwise, they're lying. When words come out of their mouth, they're lying.
Yep.
We have to reject their premise. For too long, we've accepted political correctness. We've accepted the premise that what they say may be true, but we know inside it's not. It's time for the American people to reject it. Every opportunity that you get, you need to challenge them. Every opportunity that you see Kevin DeLeon or Jerry Brown or your city council, boo, that's right, boo, your city council member that doesn't uphold their oath of office, that doesn't love this country, just like the speaker before me said, if you don't love this country, get the hell out. It's our house. It's the future of our children. I don't want them to end up in a communist gulag, but I especially don't want to be an angel dad. I don't want my wife to be an angel mom. And God bless you. God bless you. The fact that they ignore these stories makes me sick. I am honored. That's right, CNN, tell this story. Tell, please, CNN, MSNBC, please tell Ronald De Silva's story. I don't want to see another DACA kid up there. and talking about separating families. Those children can go back with their families. Ronald cannot come back to Agnes. There's only one place that she can visit Ronald. There's only one place that all of these families can visit their loved ones, and that's at a grave marker. How dare they? How dare they? So I'm here introducing, some of you guys know this. I am honored. I don't have a lost son. Thank God I don't have a lost child yet. It's an honor for me to speak on behalf of Fight Sanctuary State. FightSanctuaryState.com, guys. We're going to do 3 things, but we need your help. I want you to share the heck out of it. Send it everywhere. We are introducing a constitutional initiative, and initiatives almost always fail in California. They're designed to fail because the Democrats run this state and they've designed them to fail. But I believe we will win. Because I believe that California citizens are sick and tired like I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of telling these stories. 3 things we're going to do. We're going to make sanctuary cities and the sanctuary state illegal in the California Constitution. Illegal. And the politicians that support them will be in jail. That's what I want to see. Libby Schaaf deserves to be in prison or worse. Lock her up. Lock up Jerry Brown. Lock up Kevin De Leon. Lock up Anthony Rendon. Lock up Kamala Harris. Lock up Nancy Pelosi. Lock up Gavin Newsom. Every politician that puts illegal criminals over American citizens needs to be in prison. The second thing, if you're a business owner, you know in California, SB4 or AB 450 criminalized you for working with ICE. And I just saw Joe. Joe came from New Jersey. God bless you, my friend. New Jersey, guys, don't, the left lies. The left says that these blue states aren't savable. There's a reason I'm still in California, because I believe California can be saved. If I didn't believe it, I'd be gone.
We're with you, baby.
California can be saved, but it's up to us. If you are a business owner in California, Jerry Brown and Kevin De Leon said, you cannot work with ICE. You cannot follow federal immigration law. And if you do, if you have the gall, if you have the audacity to follow federal law, you will be in jail. And that illegal alien, that criminal alien, that Libby Schaaf protected, she protected 800 violent criminals in Oakland. Those illegal aliens, if you help them, you will be in jail and they will be out free and they will be killing more Americans.
Lock her up!
Lock her up. We will make that illegal. We will say, and it pisses me off that we even have to say it, that if you are a business owner, you not only can work, but you should work with ICE. God bless you for doing it. And the last thing we're going to say is, only American citizens or legal residents can get a driver's license in California. And to register to vote, there is no automatic registration. You have to prove your citizenship or legal status. Does it piss you off that we even have to do this? But we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm going to fight every day from now until we pass Fight Sanctuary State, the initiative. And I'm going to stand next to Agnes Gibney, and I'm going to stand next to Don Rosenberg, and Sabina Durden, and Marianne Mendoza, and every other parent that has lost a loved one. And we're going to win this fight. I would ask each one of you have an influence. Some of you have deep pockets. Mine are pretty shallow. I've got the T-Rex problem, shallow pockets and short arms. Just kidding. I pray someday I have deep pockets. I would put it towards it. If you have deep pockets, please contribute to Fight Sanctuary State. We can't do it without funding. Some of you have influence with people and you know the people with deep pockets. Please share it with them. I'm talking businesses, individuals that can give $5,000, $10,000, $100,000. It's going to be a significant investment to do this. But if you can, and you can only do a little bit, God bless you, do what you can. We all do what we can. But you can all share it. And not just California. Joe, I'm expecting you to be our champion in New Jersey. Because if we don't stop this cancer in California, the entire country is going to die. What's that? It's already on the East Coast. If we kill this cancer in California, guys, we will send a message across the country that law and order is going to be restored in California, and these criminal politicians have had their last day.
Let's do it!
God bless you guys. Join us. FightSanctuaryState.com. It's really simple. FightSanctuaryState.com. I want you to take it. I want you to tweet it. I want you to Facebook it. Every time you do, I want you to tag our president. And if you are here, if you are in America, Donald Trump is your president! God bless you! And when you wake up tomorrow, Antifa, and you little pathetic brown berets, Donald Trump will still be your president. And thank God to every one of you patriots, he will be our president for 7 more years. But these midterms are the most important in our lifetimes. If we do not hold the Senate and the House, and I want to grow it. I want these leftists, they've been fighting this for over a year. I want us to say as American people, screw you guys. I want us to take seats in the Senate and the House. I want us to get rid of the rhino, the pathetic rhinos that do nothing. The obstructionists, the never Trump Republicans, get the hell out. I don't give a damn about them. They might as well be Democrats. Jeff Flake, Don McCain, that's right. Flush them and put constitutional conservatives in there. God bless Tim Donnelly. Guys, we need fighters like Tim Donnelly in Congress. God bless. Travis Allen is the only one that has a chance in California. If we get Gavin Newsom, unfortunately it's a two-part, it's the top two, which is, it's pitted against him, and unfortunately Cox is still in it. But if we get Newsom or Villaraigosa, guys, we will still win, but it's going to be a heck of a lot harder. God bless you guys. Fight the midterm. Fight the midterm. Do everything you can to protect it. Join us at FightSanctuaryState.com. It is my absolute honor. I do this. I'm a spokesman. I get the title spokesman because I like doing this. I love traveling around. I love going out. I love smiling at people that hate me. I love shining light into the darkness. I love you guys when you come up and you say hi. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love this country even more. I love my family. I get to tell the story, but Agnes has to live it. Agnes lives the story. It is an absolute honor. Agnes Gibney is the mother of Ronald Da Silva. She was an immigrant from Hungary. Had to go through Brazil to get here. Did it the right way. Comes to America and has her dream stolen because of sanctuary policies. I love you, Agnes. It's an honor and a privilege to introduce. I want you guys to hear her story. I don't want you just to hear it, though. I want you to share it. And every news outlet that's here, if I don't see you telling these stories, I don't even care if you ignore me. But if you don't tell these stories, shame on you. Shame on you. God bless you, Agnes. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. Stand up. Please welcome Agnes Gibney.
Thank you so much. This is my country.
Yeah.
And I will fight for it. When we immigrated legally to the United States, we came here as stateless. You know what that means? It means we didn't belong anywhere. Only because my parents left Hungary as refugees, Hungarian government took our citizenship away. So when we immigrated to Brazil, we were there as stateless also. We had no home. We just lived there. Although I love Brazil because that's where I grew up, but this is my home.
Yeah.
To this country legally. You know, one thing that really irritates me is when the media says that illegal or that undocumented immigrant. It's not undocumented immigrant. It's illegal alien, because immigrant is somebody that came here like me through the legal channels, vetted, background investigation, and the whole thing, medical exam and everything else. And it cost a lot of money. My parents had to sell a lot of their belongings to come here. And I'm doing this to honor my mother, who gave up her family in Hungary to flee communism. And if people don't know what communism is, let me tell you, you wouldn't like it. When you have a token to buy meat and a certain number of pounds depending how many you have in your family, that's communism. When I was born, my family wasn't allowed to baptize me because it was against the law to take a baby into a church and baptize. But I was baptized in a Catholic church. My parents didn't attend my baptism, only my godparents did. Otherwise, they could have been arrested. They would have drawn too much attention. My parents got their vouchers from different co-workers so my mother could have a luncheon to celebrate my baptism. That's communism. When you have 2-3 pigs and the communism comes and communists come and say, no, 2 is ours, 1 is yours, and when you cut it, we're gonna share your meat, that's communism. We wanna keep this country free as it is, beautiful as it is, and thank God for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the savior of this country. I think he opened many eyes, and he brought attention to the corruption that the media does. What they report and what they don't report. It's very selective. Oh, okay. And I have to announce it that Donald Trump just landed here in California. It feels like my lungs just opened up. Yeah. You know, I want to say that this is the greatest country, and we all owe it to this country. Maybe not for older people that we're on our way out, that I don't know how long I have, but for me too. But for our children, for our grandchildren, and for those coming behind us. Because if we don't act now, if we don't do something now, our children and grandchildren will have nothing. And we have to be a loud voice, because the other side chants "si se puede," and we have to chant back "si se puede deportarlos."
That's right, Agnes. I like that.
Yes, we can deport them. Yes, we can. And we should. Yes, they come here illegally. They need to be out. We do not owe illegal aliens anything.
Not a damn thing.
In fact, they should pay back everything that they sucked the country from. Imagine how much we would have the money to build a wall. Imagine if they paid us all back. All the welfare, low housing, Medi-Cal, and all that. But it is an honor to be here with you guys. I love this country, and I'm gonna take my last breath fighting for this country, because this is my home. And I'm honored to call myself an American citizen. Thank you, God bless you all, and God bless our president. Thank you.
Agnes Gibney. Trump, you are welcome here.
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 Trump, you are welcome here. Trump, you are welcome here.
Trump, you are welcome here.
We love Trump.
We love President
We
Trump.
love Trump. We love walls.
So he just landed at Miramar. That's what, about 20 miles up the road. He's going to probably take, well, I know he's going to take Marine One helicopter and land right here in Brownfield. Maybe in 10 minutes, maybe in a half hour. You know how presidents are. They do what they want to do. They got to talk to the military up there. So they're going to talk to our generals and colonels and see what's needed here in San Diego to keep us more strong and secure. So what a great feeling that he's here in California. He knows we're here. We're welcoming him. We got the eyes of the country on us. Thank you, media, for coming out. We do appreciate it. Local and national. I talked to USA Today here. I talked to CNN. It's great. Fox News is here, and we got all the local stations. So what a change. Now, usually they're covering the left-wing rallies, but we thank them for coming, giving the other side. This is not a communist state, not yet.
We're the rally that matters.
And it will not happen under our watch. All right, we have one more special guest speaker for you. We don't want to bore you to tears too much, because I know you're excited. Just in case a motorcade comes driving down in about 15, 20 minutes, we want to be ready to run over there and get your pictures and wave. It could happen. No guarantees, but it could happen. So we have one more special guest speaker. He's a retired Sergeant Major, USMC. I'm a retired Master Sergeant, so...
Thank you for your service!
Semper Fi.
Thank you for your service!
He has been, since he retired, what, 2 years ago, 3? 2 years ago. He's been very active. He did not take his pack off and go play golf every day. He jumped right into politics here in San Diego, and not just, oh, I'm going to run for city council or whatever. No, he jumped in with both feet. I mean, he's Tea Party, he goes to all the conservative meetings, he gives speeches, he's a great speaker, and he's really become, you know, the Marine Corps lost an asset, but boy, we sure gained one when he retired. And we're so happy to have him, and now he's running for Congress down here. And he's also from an immigrant family, legal, and he's going to tell you a little about that. So please welcome Sergeant Major Juan Hidalgo.
Okay, first of all, let me tell you, when I talk, I get loud and I'm not yelling at you. I just get passionate, okay?
I feel you!
First of all, God bless America.
Yes, sir!
That's what it's all about, and God bless President Trump. I have to say that, and let's get something straight. Let's start telling everybody it's President Trump. You know, a lot of the people that don't like him, they like to refer to him as Trump. And even some of the Republicans who kind of want to act like they're rhinos, they say Trump. It's President Trump. Well, today is a historic day. It's a great day. And I'm going to tell you a little about my background. Yes, he said, my family did immigrate here, and my grandmother, God bless her, she died when she was 100 years old, and I remember her teaching me the rule of law. And my grandfather, you know, we come from a strong Hidalgo Mexican family, and they said we follow the law, we work hard, and we become something in this world.
That's right.
And God bless America, because everybody talks about these other countries, but guess what? This country, I grew up in National City, California. Yeah. This country, after I listened to my grandmother, my parents, I worked hard, I rose to the highest rank in the Marine Corps, achieved 2 college degrees because of this country, no other country. It's all about America. We need to stop pandering to people.
That's right.
Because you also hear rhinos talking about, we need to talk to this group and we need to talk to... I just told you, I'm a proud Mexican American, but let's stop giving the titles and just say American. Because I'm proud to be an American first and foremost. Never be afraid or never be ashamed of where you came from. You should be very proud of that, everybody. But you know, we got people of all walks of life in this country, and we need to protect all Americans first and foremost. And that's what this president is doing. He's putting America and Americans first, and that's what we'll do. So that's what we need to do. Now, you might have saw yesterday, are you tired of the rhinos? Are you tired of, not even the rhinos, but the Democrats, the Pelosi's, there's all kinds of them, right? Well, yesterday you might have watched the news, and there was a U.S. congressman, okay, and he was bashing our president and saying that he is not welcome in California or San Diego.
Yes, he is!
Well, shame on you, Juan Vargas, shame on you. He is your president, he is our president, and we should be welcoming him here to San Diego, California. He's trying to make the country safe, and that is exactly why I'm running to be your congressman for this area right here, the 51st Congressional District. And I need your help. I need you guys to get on, to go to Hidalgo for Congress on Facebook, like us, and we're going to have a kickoff next week, and I'm here really to talk about Donald Trump, but I just need to let you know that, okay? Because we will change it. We'll get rid of the wrong one, and we'll put the right one in Congress. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to welcome our president today, and he's doing a great job, and he needs more help in D.C. He needs more help up there to get rid of those rhinos. We're going to put real conservative, time-honored. Everybody tells you, well, I would fight to the death. I will fight for this country. I have fought for this country.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I've served this country for 31 and a half years in the United States Marine Corps. And I have fought in foreign lands, and now I'm ready to go to Congress and on the floor of Congress, fight for you, the American people, every day. God bless you. God bless America.
Juan Hidalgo, everybody, Sergeant Major, retired. Future congressman right here on the border. Boy, do we need a good congressman on the border.
That's right.
I think I saw Juan Vargas down there tearing fence down last night. I don't know. He's so angry about that wall. It just drives him nuts. And then he goes home to his gated community.
Juan Vargas to get rid of the door on his home.
Yeah, I know. He goes home to his gated community, those walls. He locks his door at night. He, pulls his gun out and makes sure he's ready for anyone that comes in that's not supposed to. Hey, we're going to start wrapping up here. That's our speakers. And one more round of applause for all of our speakers. They're outstanding. We love them. They were all great. We hope you enjoyed them. We would have loved to have Travis Allen here. He wanted to be here so bad. He is with us. You've seen him on Fox News all over. I know some people support John Cox. It's free country. That's fine. But, okay.
No John Cox.
Who likes Travis Allen for governor? Who's going to support him? Okay. You Cox voters and supporters, you heard that, right? Get on board the Travis train so we can beat Tony Villar and make the top two and take this fight all the way to November against Gavin Newsom. Can you imagine? You've seen Travis Allen on the news. You've seen him talk. He's a great speaker. Can you imagine him going head-to-head with Gavin Newsom for the next 5 months?
I can imagine it.
From June until November, him and Newsom's going to melt into a puddle. So we really need to make that happen. We really do. Just put aside whatever it is, and let's all get on board the not Trump train, Travis train. Same thing, right? We'll start with TR. All right, we're gonna wrap. I gotta let you know, I've been up here the whole time. I'm kind of emceeing and organizing, and I've had about 30 people come up to me, candidates, people, and say, please, can we talk for 5 minutes? We'd be here till 5 p.m., and I'd love for you to hear every candidate. We cannot do that, but we have and thank you all for these candidates coming out, all the way from LA, down south, and in between. And for all different offices. You already heard Secretary of State running for Raul Rodriguez. So many people have jumped into the fray because a lot of us are just too busy. We got lives and we got things we got to do. These folks have put aside their lives and they're running for office. Win, lose, or draw, they're going to give it a shot because they can't let the leftists and Democrats run unopposed and win their elections without a fight. And these are fighters. These aren't just Republicans. These are conservatives. These are fighters. So big round of applause to everyone who's running for office that came out here today to support our president. This is not a campaign rally, but we do want to identify these folks because there's so many of them. So Remembrance Projects folks, if you could step back a little bit, I want to bring up anybody who's running for office, please line up behind me. Everybody that's running for office.
Omar!
Okay, we got a tweet from President Trump that this gentleman wants to read real quick, and while we're getting that set up, if you're running for office, any office in the state, just line up along the line, and we're going to identify you so that everybody knows who you are and what you're running for. I can't give you time to speak. We'd be here till 5 p.m. We can't do that, but I want everybody to know who's here running and who walks the walk. They don't just build a website. They actually came out to support our president. So here's a tweet from President Trump.
This just came in a little bit ago from Donald Trump on Twitter. California's sanctuary policies are illegal and unconstitutional and put the safety and security of our entire nation at risk. Thousands of dangerous, violent, criminal aliens are released as a result of sanctuary policies, set free to prey upon innocent Americans. This must stop. President Trump is with you.
All right, President Trump riling us up even from a distance. Okay. President Trump is inbound from Miramar to Brownfield, which is about about a mile to the north here.
So let's get going.
So if you hear some whirlybird wings there ringing here in a minute, that's the president coming into Brownfield. You may or may not hear it, may or may not see it, but he's coming in, so cross your fingers, he might be coming by. But until that happens, we're going to wrap up by letting everybody know. We think we heard chopper.